I'm going to show you an album that I created called Having Conversations.
Having conversations.
So this album I created for someone who had difficulties conversing with others. So my client, he usually just responds with one word sentence. So how are you today? And he might say good. And then the conversation usually ends there. So this album did grow. It was growing over time, and to really help my client to know how to ask questions back and what he can say also as in a comment. It also has some rules of conversation that can help remind him what does a conversation look like. So what you can do is start with a story of the importance of communication. For instance, you can read here.
Talking and listening is how we communicate with each other. Communication involves at least two people. There are many reasons why it is important to communicate with each other. One reason why we communicate is to connect with each other.
So I'm not going to read through the whole story, but you can download this album and read the story to your child or your client. And another thing that's helpful in this album is the conversation help.
Conversation help.
So here is just reminders what we do in a conversation. So you can, for instance, we can
introduce a topic
such as birthday, Christmas, etc. You can have a conversation about
telling
a story. And in this reminders album over here,
reminders,
it's just some rules to remind how we can have a conversation for simple things like
look at the person,
maybe waiting turns,
wait your turn,
staying on topic, etc. And this topic album is also a good one where you can just give an idea of what we can talk about. For instance, you might want to talk about schoolwork. You might want to talk about my holiday. So you can add or create different topic areas according to your child's interests. Questions is another good album. So questions, especially if the child never really asks others questions, so it's always me asking. So this is a great choice-making session of what he can ask me back. So if I asked him,
how was your week?
He might reply, and then I ask him, what can you ask me? He might ask me,
what did you do today?
For example. So that's a great one. And having a topic area within the questions is also a good idea. For instance, in birthday. So here are some questions that he can ask me if my birthday was coming up.
What did you do for your birthday?
So the comments is I did put in folders some rules that he can use for a comment. For instance, I'll give you example, compliments. So if I told him, I had a nice haircut, he might say,
that's a nice haircut.
If I said I had a haircut today, he might respond by,
that's a nice haircut.
As a compliment. Echo might be another one. So echo is simply repeating what I said. If I said again, if I had a haircut today, he might just change the I to a U. So instead of I had a nice haircut, he might say, you had a nice haircut? Oh, that's nice. I like it. Just an example there. So there's some different rules of comments. And another one is getting to know someone. So I use this album a lot to to learn how to converse about what you know of the other person, and also to ask questions to really get to know the person. So there's some questions here that I put in here.
Getting to know you questions.
So things like,
do you have any hobbies?
And once we ask some of these questions, getting to know you questions, then you can put it down into an album. For instance, for Dad, you may have already asked him, so maybe Dad's
favorite hobby is to play sport.
Is to play sport. So
Dad.
We can now know what sort of questions can we ask if we know that Dad's hobby is to play sport, or Dad likes to watch cricket. So a question might be, when is the next cricket match?
When is next cricket match?
Or how is work, if you know if your dad works. So you can put albums here of anyone, really, anyone that your child might know, friends, cousins, and encourage him or her to ask questions and find out about a bit more about them. And then once he knows a bit more about them, then he can actually ask them questions related to what they know. So anyway, I'll stop this here. I really hope that this album helps. You can download this album from our Visuals2Go Academy site. I will share the link below. And yeah, enjoy. Thank you for watching.